to Bravissima, and welcome to my home studio. Behind me is my conducting mentor, Samuel Krock-Malnick, who opened up Candide for Bernstein on Broadway. Over here is my clarinet mentor, Rosario Mazzeo. And behind me, of course, are a few of my scores, some clarinet music, my clarinet, baton, reeds, all the things that I need to have. Well, we chose the name Bravissima because, well, at the end of a concert, you say bravo. But tomorrow is Mother's Day. And in celebration of Mother's Day, you would say brava. But with a lot and a ton of bravas, you get Bravissima. And so here we are to have a celebration of PCO and mothers everywhere. And we have an incredible program lined up for you this next hour with virtual performances by members of the orchestra, including Leslie Chen on flute, Nina Flyer on cello, Marnie Breckenridge singing, Igor Velligan on violin, and other surprises. There will be many opportunities for Bravissima toasts. Also appearing are concertgoers, musicians, and an esteemed music reviewer on what is special to them about PCO. And most importantly, we have our online auction. And there are 3 ways to participate. There's our end of the year fiscal fundraising drive, an online silent auction of some really neat items. And we also have a Fund a Need campaign. You will want to watch the entire program to join in the final grand Bravissima toast to PCO and to moms everywhere. A note before we begin, please click open the chat function and keep it open throughout. We will be giving you updates on our progress. You can see others' comments, and we encourage you to add your own thoughts. And if you are so moved, you can make a donation pledge. About our PCO musicians, we are fortunate to have the Bay Area's best, finest pros as regulars with PCO. They give the organization a personality, a style, a sound that is unique, that comes from the gradual deepening of subtleties, nuances, and colors that come from working together and striving for the best over many years. Up first is our flautist, Leslie Chen. She has been with PCO for about 25 years. She is constantly on demand for the touring Broadway shows that play in San Francisco. You've probably heard her in the orchestras for Phantom of the Opera, Les Mis, Lion King, amongst others. Welcome to Bravissima, Leslie.
Thank you so much for your support of Pacific Chamber Orchestra. One of the best things about PCO is Maestro Kohl's programming. Our repertoire ranges from orchestral works to more intimate chamber music pieces. Maestro Kohl allows the musicians the freedom to play and interpret the music the way we understand it, and I think that gives PCO its unique and vibrant sound. I've been missing my wonderful colleagues throughout the year, the way we can go for weeks without seeing each other and then come together and have that nonverbal communication in our music and play together just like a musical family. And of course, I'm looking forward to seeing you, our wonderful audience, that have stuck with us through many different venues and settings, and of course, through a pandemic. So I'm looking forward so much to seeing you and playing for you. Syrinx was composed in 1913 by Claude Debussy. It was the incidental music to a play called Psyche. It's meant to be performed off stage by a solo flute player. It tells the story from Greek mythology of the little Greek god Pan, who is known as the god of the flute. Pan was chasing the nymph Syrinx. He was feeling amorous feelings for Syrinx. She called to her father Zeus for help, and as she ran past a lake, Zeus turned her into reeds. Pan was so sad that he couldn't have Syrinx that he broke off pieces of reed and tied them together to make the first pan flute. Here's a pan flute. And this piece is Pan's lament for Syrinx.
Hello, I am Pamela Philbert. I am sure you will now join me in thanking Leslie for her exceptional performance. Now, let's talk about you, our audience. We all know that it's you, our loyal listeners, who make the kind of music experience you heard today a reality. This past season, 2020, the performance arts have all but shut down. But with your generous financial support, the Pacific Chamber Orchestra, PCO, has been able to persist and even grow notably with our new administrator, Mr. Gary Peare. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gary Peare, Administrator for Pacific Chamber Orchestra. I'd like to take a moment to show you how to participate in our online auction fundraiser. To get to the auction website, go to Fundraiser.bid/Bravissima. I'll also post the address in the live chat below this video for your convenience. You can also find a link to the auction website on the PCO homepage. Just go to pacificchamberorchestra.org. It's easy to bid. Click on Auction at the top of the site. Here you'll find all the great items we have up for bid. When you find something you'd like to bid on, you'll need to register with your contact information. Click on Continue to Register Card. This will give you the option to enter your credit card now or to skip this step and enter your card once you've won an item. Either way is fine. Then, bid away. It's very simple, but if you get stuck, there's a link to email me from within the auction website. Just send me a note and I'll help you out. Thanks for listening. Now, back to Bravissima.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are in store for a treat.
The Pacific Chamber Orchestra offers a comprehensive multi-year assembly program on music fundamentals that not only thrills students, but educates and excites them about music.
It made me think about the rhythm in music and how much it matters. Without rhythm or beats, the song wouldn't even be a song. It'd just be sounds.
Also known as the Quintet program, the presentation features 5 instruments and culturally diverse music from different eras, professionally arranged to illustrate a musical theme, all presented in a lively and interactive format, such as postcards from around the world.
We'll play music from different countries to illustrate different musical scales, and we'll have the kids naming to us major scale, minor scale, melodic scale, whole tone scale, Middle Eastern scales, all by ear as we are demonstrating these things.
I think you just need to learn about music. Music is a big part in our world.
That is so sweet. Kids are inspired when they see that they are so valued that the finest professional musicians come to their school to offer a new and wonderful experience. They treasure it and remember. So touched, they will become the musicians and the audiences of tomorrow. I am sure many of you have a distinct and pleasurable memory of your first exposure to classical music. And that experience is undoubtedly a major reason why you are here with us today. Speaking of the very best professionalism, I would like to introduce you to Nina Flyer, our principal cellist. Nina has been with PCO for about 30 years, almost from the very start. Before coming to the Bay Area, Nina was principal cellist with the Jerusalem Symphony, the Iceland Symphony, and the Bergen Symphony of Norway. A devoted chamber musician, her acclaimed violin, piano, cello ensemble, Trio Foss, tours internationally. Ms. Flyer was featured on 2 CDs that were nominated for Grammy Awards, and she also records for TV and major motion pictures. Welcome to Bravissima, Nina.
Welcome to my cello studio. Before I introduce the pieces, I wanted to talk a little bit about our beloved orchestra, PCO. A lot of us are real old friends. We enjoy playing together. We love the innovative programming that Lawrence comes up with. I hope some of our joy communicates itself to the audience. So as for the pieces, first I chose the Allemande from the 4th Suite by Bach. The 6 suites by Bach are really the Bible for the cello. And supposedly they get more difficult as they go along, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, although the 4th is pretty difficult. The Allemande is delightful, sort of the normal range of the cello. And then we get to Paul Hindemith, and everything is changed completely. Paul Hindemith's solo sonata for cello, written in the 20th century, opens up in terms of the range and the volume, and technical difficulties are so much greater. So it's a nice contrast, but the Hindemith versus the Bach. The Hindemith is very martial in character. and very Strummenjong. But then we end on a beautiful major pizzicato chord, and all is well again.
I host an arts and entertainment radio program on the only fully powered FM radio station in Marin County. As such, I have to listen to a lot of music every year and attend a lot of performances. There are many wonderful groups in the Bay Area, but I'm always thrilled to discover a new one. And back in 2019, I discovered the Pacific Chamber Orchestra. I discovered it because my friend, the divine mezzo-soprano Sylvie Jensen, was performing in Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. So I drove all the way out to Lafayette, primarily to hear Sylvie, but I was delighted by what I encountered in the whole group. Not only was the singing magnificent, the performers were great, and I love chamber orchestras. I like orchestras where there are only a few instruments on each part, because I believe you can hear the parts more clearly and you can hear the instruments more clearly. I came back to hear Handel's Messiah. I have heard many, many, many Messiahs, both before I moved to the Bay Area and in the Bay Area, and I have to say that I'm usually disappointed. I'm usually disappointed because it's generally the case that for whatever reason, not all four soloists are superb. But in this case, in the Pacific Chamber Orchestra's performance, they all were. And beyond that, the chorus was beautiful. The musicians were beautiful. And when I listen to a piece of music that I'm very familiar with, that I've heard many times, what I really listen for is the emotional intensity. How aligned are the singers and the musicians with the emotions in the music written by the composer? And in this case, I have to say, it's as if Lawrence Kohl had thrown a web of authenticity and passion over the entire group of performers. And so it wasn't just delightful to the ear, but deeply moving to the soul. So I hope that many other people will discover this gem of the Bay Area. It's very much worth traveling all the way from Marin to Contra Costa County, or from anywhere else you happen to be in the Bay Area. The Pacific Chamber Orchestra is unique in its harmonies of players and performers, by which I mean musicians and singers, and for me, the emotional depth and intensity with which they deliver the music.
We're back to spotlight just a few of the items currently up for bid on our auction. Remember that the auction closes at midnight, May 11th. Good luck, and thank you for bidding.
One of the things I really like about PCO is after the concert, Lawrence Kohl takes the time to come back and congratulate us. And it's just such a personal touch.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for your support of the Pacific Chamber Orchestra. I just want to take a minute to share with you why the orchestra is so important and special to me. And I think I can sum that up very easily using the first initials of our name, PCO. P, that's for people. Which people? First, it's the players, terrifically talented and really fun to work with. I always enjoy rehearsing and performing with my colleagues. Secondly, the public, that's you, our loyal, supportive, and appreciative audience. Thank you again. C is for community. We serve Alameda and Contra Costa County. We perform in a beautiful venue in Lafayette, the Lafayette Orinda Presbyterian Church, and in Livermore, the Bankhead Theater. Great places, great audiences. In addition to that, we serve public schools in both counties, and that is a pleasure that we are happy to share. O. Well, O is the best part of all of it. O is for optimism. That is the spirit that is personified by Lawrence Kohl, our music director. And it is an infectious spirit. The whole orchestra catches it when we work together with Lawrence. And to me, that's pretty much the best thing about Pacific Chamber Orchestra.
Light is at the end of the tunnel, as California will fully reopen June 15th. We can expect in-person concerts to emerge soon after. This is a time for gathering donations that will determine what PCO can do next season. It takes about $1,000 to put a musician on stage for one concert, including the rehearsals. Goal for this drive is to raise the minimum of $25,000, which puts enough orchestra musicians on stage for our concert programs. To put this musician on stage, we're going to have a reversed auction in which we start at the top amount from $5,000, $2,500 to $1,500, $250. Finally, $100, even $50 will do it. Let's start the 5,000 level. That puts 5 of our 20 musicians on stage. Jay and Mary Davis have very generously pledged the first $5,000. Thank you. Let's turn to the $2,500 levels. Are there any donors at this level? Let us know through chat. Larry Goldfarb has contributed a generous $4,000 donation. Thank you, Larry. These really can add up. One of our board members, Dr. Calvin Wood, has made a $1,000 pledge. Thank you, Calvin. I know that there are others who have made and can make a $1,000 donation. Steve and Trish Hartwood have contributed $1,000. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Trish. Jess with Jay and Mary Davis, Larry Goldfarb, Cal, Steve and Trish, we are almost halfway to our $25,000 goal. Let us know on chat. You not only can use chat, we still take cash or checks or credit cards. Each 2 $500 donations put one musician on stage. Veronica Lena has made a $500 donation. Who can partner with Veronica with a gift of $500 to bring another musician on stage? A multiple of $250 can make a difference. Last year, we had a total of 21 donors at this level, and we had 33 donors at $100, and that will definitely bring us right up to our goal. The more money we raise, the more musicians we can put on stage to perform the works you like, including major works as well as special commission pieces. We will be continuing this drive through the end of our year, June 30th. Let us know in the chat function if you can make a pledge now or do so right away through the auction site. Gary will keep us posted throughout the event as to our progress.
The future for PCO is amazing, and that future is now. The concert halls will reopen soon, and we are working out the details for performances July 17th and July 18th, just over 2 months from now. The excitement of returning to the concert hall calls for a special kind of concert, a concert that connects us with and celebrates our cultural heritage, revitalizes us, and underscores our hopes and dreams for the future. It is the kind of excitement experienced in Vienna in 1808 when Beethoven presented a seminal concert of new works. For that concert, he introduced his grand Ode to Nature and his immortal Ode to the Indomitable Human Spirit in two symphonies, his Pastoral Symphony No. 6 and his Fifth Symphony that is built upon the powerful four-note motive known as Fate Knocking at the Door. We plan to perform them together just as Beethoven did. Another program lined up for the 21-22 concert season, along with Handel's Glorious Messiah, is themed Words, with the beautiful chamber orchestra version of Mahler's Fourth Symphony with Marnie Breckenridge as soprano soloist. The song Mahler chose is from the old German fairy tale collection entitled The Youth's Magic Horn. The song is a child's version of what heaven must be like in all its glory and beauty. Also on that program, as a contrast to the romantic Mahler, is the wicked British humor of English poets Edith Sitwell's nonsense poetry. Her poems are set to music by the great English composer William Walton. Walton is the composer of Pomp and Circumstance that is heard at just about every graduation. Sitwell's poems, such as When Sir Beelzebub, 4 in the Morning, and Lullaby for Jumbo, will provide a sharp and insightful contrast to the Mahler. In the Mahler, the words are sung. In the Walton, the poems are read. Marnie, who sang the child's version of Heaven, comes back to narrate the poems. The artistic future beyond holds great excitement for PCO. We have many other concert programs being planned. Piazzolla's Four Seasons of Buenos Aires, an American radio hour featuring all of our American diversity, all 6 of Bach's Brandenburg concertos, Brahms's Symphony No. 2, Mozart's Requiem, and perhaps a concert version of his opera Così fan tutte someday, and of course the commissioning of new works. It is important our living composers address what is before us today and write for you. We are also excited as to the growth of our board and our volunteer Friends of PCO. They make the art happen. Please join us and participate. I'd like to now give you a taste of our soloist for words, and up next is our wonderful Marnie Breckenridge. She has soloed with PCO many times over the years. She was the soprano soloist for our Handel's Messiah, the last program we had before COVID lockdown. Marnie was awarded a 2020 Door Award for an outstanding performance. She has created roles for 7 world premiere operas, and of course has sung with the San Francisco Opera, the English National Opera, the Prague State Opera, and the famous Glyborn Festival Opera. Welcome to Bravissima, Marnie.
Thank you, Lawrence. It is such a pleasure to get to work with you, Lawrence Kohl. Thank you for being such a great artist, a fantastic collaborator, and hilarious behind the scenes. Thank you for picking great repertoire that singers want to sing with an excellent orchestra. Pacific Chamber Orchestra is A+. The players are the best of the best in the Bay Area, and it's wonderful to connect with them and make great music together when we get those opportunities. So I hope you will continue to support PCO forever. Thank you. And now I would like to sing Dvorak's Songs My Mother Taught Me. And of course, I'm dedicating this to you beautiful mothers out there who always are giving of yourselves kindness, love, and the songs that you've passed on to us. I now pass these songs on that my beautiful mother gave to me, to my own children. Thank you. And now I would like to sing All the Things You Are by Jerome Kern. Mothers out there, you are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. You are the promised kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. You are the promised kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. You are the promised kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine.
What makes PCO special for me is Lawrence Kohl. I love his energy. It's evident every time he takes the baton, but it's evident in all his endeavors. For example, he's been a force for the arts in the region in his leadership role with the La Miranda Arts Council. PCO is also special by making beautifully performed orchestral works accessible to many.
I greatly appreciate the Pacific Chamber Orchestra, mainly because they're here locally and they're such excellent musicians. I appreciate conductor Lawrence Kohl. He's very warm and welcoming. He's an artist. He's an educator. Before concerts and during concerts, he'll talk about why the program was put together, some history of the composers and the music, which makes it an educational event as well as an inspiring musical experience. I appreciate the orchestra, the ensemble, and how they blend well together, and they can be so dynamic and inspiring as well as subtle and sublime. And I appreciate that after the concerts, the ensemble, the conductor come to the lobby and intermingle with the audience participants. And it's a wonderful sense of community amongst music lovers. And that's important to me. I have to say that I lived in San Francisco for 14 years, and I would attend Davies Symphony Hall concerts, and I feel just as inspired and uplifted by PCO concerts as I did by those San Francisco Symphony concerts. It's just more personable, intimate, and the music is so excellent. I'm very grateful for PCO. Thank you.
Welcome from Jay and Mary Davis. We are delighted to ask you to join us in support of the Pacific Chamber Orchestra. The orchestra is a magnificent small group with amazingly brilliant sound, bright performers, and a broad repertoire. Maestro Lawrence Kohl is a genius at selecting good pieces, doing novel things like rearranging the seating of the orchestra, and introducing us to wonderful interpretations of the music and explanations of its past. We think PCO is an important addition to the cultural venue of Livermore, a jewel of the Bankhead Theater, and one we strongly support. It's important to us personally because our children are all musicians. Our daughter, son-in-law, and 2 grandsons in Sacramento all play in orchestras. They all love to hear PCO. They came to its performance of the Ninth Symphony or were stunned to see what a small symphony could do with that piece. We appreciate your support. We hope you will join us in the coming year. Thank you from Jay and Mary Davis.
Hi, we're back with a few more words about our online auction fundraiser. Don't see anything that tickles your fancy on the auction site? No problem. Check out our Fund a Needs section. We have 4 program areas where your financial support will have a major impact. You can help us produce, print, and mail our season brochure. Design and print concert programs. Help produce the season by underwriting PCO's production expenses. Or underwrite PCO's important educational outreach program at area schools, where every $500 donated supports 1 elementary school assembly. Just select a need and click on a donation level. It's a fast and easy way to give. Thanks again for participating in the auction and for supporting PCO.
Thank you for the auction update, Gary. There are so many neat items to bid on, and you can also help out PCO through the reverse auction to put the musicians on stage and in our Fund a Need items outside of the main season artists. I would like to introduce you to our final performer, our esteemed concertmaster, Igor Velligan. Igor and I work closely together on the tempo, bowings, articulations, and style, which are then communicated to the rest of the strings and orchestra in advance of the first rehearsal. That enables me and our orchestra to devote the rehearsal time to delve into the depths of interpretive nuances. Igor has been with PCO for over 10 years. He is equally at home on the viola, serving as principal viola for the Reno Philharmonic. He and pianist Natsuki Fukasawa tour internationally and have a beautiful CD entitled Voices of Eastern Europe. He is an artist faculty member of Italy's Orfeo International Music Festival, and he is a founder of the Young Talents Music School in Sacramento, where he mentors students as they develop into rising stars. Today, his wife, Mira, also a professional artist, will be joining him on the piano. Welcome to Bravissima, Igor, Mira.
The piece that I recorded for this event is music by Pablo Sarasate. The name is The Gunnerweisen. I recorded it with my wife, Igor Velligan. And this is a wonderful piece because Sarasate, he was himself absolute virtuoso violinist, very famous at that time, both as violinist as a composer. And this reflects some native tunes from Eastern Europe. It uses one Hungarian beautiful melody that's right in the middle, inserted right in the middle of the piece.
That was wonderful, Igor. As we wrap up our Bravissima event, I want to give big thank yous to the audience members and musicians who spoke and performed, and as well to our administrator, Gary Peare, and our video editor, Shelley Rose. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. The auction continues through for 3 more days and closes May 11th. You have until then to bid, rebid, and bid some more on all of the items we highlighted this afternoon, including the Fund a Need campaign of special items and much more. And we will still be accepting donations for our end of fiscal year fund drive to support putting the musicians on stage in our reverse auction, which you can do through the auction site or by going directly to the donate page on our website. I hope that this has been a most enjoyable virtual event and that your perspective on what makes PCO special has been enriched a bit. I and all the musicians love performing for you and sharing with you our deepest heartfelt humanity through the greatest music ever. This YouTube program will stay live on our website, so please encourage your friends to watch it. And now, pick up with me your favorite glass of bubbly or beverage, and on the count of 3, let's do a final Parte Bravissimo toast in honor of PCO, in honor of your patronage to PCO, and especially to mothers everywhere. Ready? 1, 2, Bravissima! On behalf of the board, musicians, I thank you all for attending, chatting, bidding, and donating. My love to you.